people, by the people, for the people. Whatever happened to FUBU anyway, Larry? I don't know. I wouldn't have put no money on their stock in the first place. But what's happening, ladies and gentlemen? You're in the building on the Life Gain Avengers of Current Culture. It's me. It's the other half, the living legend, Larry. How's my living legend brother feeling tonight?
Man, I'm doing my thing, just living life, hoping that this market opens up on Monday morning and goes ham again. You
Oh,
know,
I might have some sad news for you about what I think is going to happen to the marketplace this week. And everybody, that's what we're here for. We're here to give you that Monday morning quarterback game plan for the stock market based on all the things we found this weekend and the latest news coming out. So let me give you guys a snippet of what's going on. But first, if you're finding me and Larry for the first time, please subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to Larry's channel. He does tech. Black tech YouTuber, does an excellent job. Be sure to follow us both on the Instagram. For those of you that know, I just had that baby girl, and you like to see pictures of her controlling my mind as if she's wearing the Mind Stone that they have in Marvel. Jump on the gram and you'll see her controlling me. And also, ladies and gentlemen, in the video description, there is a link for a Black stock investor group. They're doing big things in that group. Go over there and check them out. They're even trying to do what Reddit did with Black people and Black stocks. Pool together money, and we're going to see if we can get one of those stocks from that group to go up. So what we're covering tonight, the fallout continues with Robinhood. They still flim-flamming, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll discuss that. What stock should you jump in this week? And I'll just, like I was telling Larry, they've made it easy for me. All the 50 stocks that Robinhood plans to limit tomorrow, February the 1st, those are all the ones you need to get into. Some of them are good long-term holds, but most of them are going to be good quick cash grabs if they get pumped up. We'll discuss that as well. And we've got some people that we know famous that have lost a lot of money on GameStop because they had money tied into the hedge fund. And Larry, before we get into all that, I want to give people context first and foremost. I'm assuming everybody who's hearing us, Larry, has had an opportunity to digest the events that happened this week, from Reddit picking the stocks that were shorted and pumping them up with money, to the fallout from billionaires complaining that they're losing money. Oh, who the hell cares? Well, a lot of people are upset with Robinhood because they limit the retail investors' ability to make money, and I have a beef with them as well. But we also have folks upset with the news because it seems as though the news is conspiring with the man, so to speak.
boys.
Yeah. And here's a depiction.
MSNBC really just was, their coverage was shameful.
You mean CNBC?
I mean, sorry, CNBC, yes.
Right. And so we've got a piece of news footage from CNBC that we're going to break down and just kind of explain why people are upset with their coverage of the news. It'll all tie into the stocks you guys should be looking at buying tomorrow. Take a look.
That's right, Deirdre. This is key. I talked to a ton of analysts and even some early Robinhood investors last night who say the decision in 2018 by Robinhood to get rid of a middleman, so they now clear and custody trades in-house, is really the crux of what's happening this week. It kicked off Robinhood's needing to restrict those trades of GameStop. So going back to 2018, this was a major investment. It was really seen as a money saver at the time. Vlad Tenev told me back in 2018 that this would help them expand quickly. He likened it to Apple deciding to build its own chips or Amazon investing in fulfillment centers. So instead of relying on a third party like most of those fintechs do, so think of Square, who use a middleman and another clearinghouse, Robinhood instead settles and clears customer trades. They provide custody for assets, and that in turn gives them a bigger slice of the revenue behind trading. But it also raises the bar for how much money Robinhood needs to have in-house to meet those capital requirements. They need to send cash every day to the Depository Trust Company, also known as the DTC, and that can really change on a dime based on trading volumes. I'm told that the DTC increased the amount that firms needed for margin calls, especially on GameStop. Robinhood, of course, told CNBC repeatedly that this was not a liquidity issue and these moves were preemptive. But remember, Robinhood raised $1 billion this morning from some existing investors. You had Sequoia and Ribbit in there. They had to tap their banks for a line of credit and told some customers that they might need to close some of those at-risk positions.
All right, folks, let me just summarize that. But before I do, let me say what's up to my buddy Nate. Nate, welcome to the show. We like to bring on subscribers. And if you are a subscriber out there and you want to join us one of these Sundays live, we discuss stocks, come on board, let me know. We'll get you up here. But Nate, how you feeling tonight?
Good. Took me forever to get signed in, but I got it.
Hey, well, you're here
Nate,
now.
how you doing, man?
Good. Hey, Larry.
And, you know, what we're discussing is how the news has tried to been spin the egregious behaviors of Robinhood as if it's not their fault. And maybe the crux of this thing is that it's really not their fault and trying to spin it as if it's not a liquidity issue. Okay, you both are smart men. Larry, if I have money to run my business and something happens to my business where there's a part that needs funding and I don't have enough funds to get that part funded, what is that, Larry?
That is purely a liquidity issue.
That is it's a liquidity problem. And
it's crazy because when they were explaining it, they were trying to deny it during the explanation. It didn't make any sense. I was like, dude, you're explaining that you don't have the money while trying to explain us while at the same time saying that you do have the money. That is not a liquidity issue while you're explaining what a liquidity issue is. It was asinine.
And then they tried to use wordage that a lot of people aren't going to understand. Simple and plain, ladies and gentlemen. Robinhood is just an interface for you to click in what stocks you want. They have to send that information to a clearinghouse that is a Wall Street hedge fund, which goes right back to the original problem. And once they have the money to send it to that Wall Street hedge fund, your stock and orders get put in. Now, then we go right back to the problem that we're fussing about right now. Robinhood, TD, Schwab, and all these other brokerages go through the same process, which is how they're able to give you these trades commission-free. But the issue we have with them, ladies and gentlemen, when people get in front of a microphone and tell you to pull your damn self up by the bootstraps, you need to have emergency money for 6 months in case something happens. This is how consumers are feeling with Robinhood and these other trading sites, because there was an opportunity for the retail investor to make a gain. And that gain was thwarted again by big money on Wall Street because these clearinghouses are ran in part by hedge funds, which should be illegal. Nate, since you're the new kid on the block, you're our subscriber fan, talk to me about the way you've been feeling about the events of the stock market this week. Uh-oh, we lost you, Nate. We can't hear you.
He's on mute. There we go.
Back.
Okay,
Yeah.
There you go.
I've just sat back and watched it. I haven't taken any part in it. It seems like it's always, it's like, well, it's going to go down at any moment, but sure doesn't seem to be happening.
Right. Larry, how do you feel about these events? And do you feel as though the media is trying to play both sides of the fence or really just trying to prop up hedge funds?
I really feel like they're out there protecting the hedge funds and the big guys. And I'll tell you the thing that bothers me is with TD and Schwab and those guys. Like, I feel like Robinhood made this move of limiting trading on these equities because they were trying to protect themselves because they weren't liquid. Right. I think Schwab and TD saw that Robinhood did that and then felt like, okay, we have cover to follow to take their lead. We have cover to say, oh, it's not a liquidity issue. We're protecting the investors. And I don't think that TD or Schwab, either one of them, have liquidity issues. I think they did that simply to protect the big guys. Right. And I think they used Robinhood doing it first as cover to do so themselves. And so they're both shamed. They should both really be ashamed of themselves. And I think the government's going to need to step in and look at what happened and possibly come up with some sort of regulation on this. But Robinhood should be ashamed of themselves for a different reason. They should be ashamed of themselves because they lied to their customers and to the public and just really lost trust. And the other guys, they should be ashamed, but I feel like we're not. For me personally, I'm not as disgusted with them because they're protecting the big guys, and that's what they always do. That's what we expect from them. That's what this whole thing was about. This whole thing with all these short sellers getting bent over. That's what this whole thing was about. So for TD and Schwab to follow Robinhood's lead and protect the hedge funds and the other big guys, it's to be expected. But for Robinhood to do it, I mean, that one stings a bit.
It does sting because Robinhood came into the game with the expectation that everyone should have opportunity in the marketplace. That was their calling card, Larry, that stock market investing should be democratized. That was their calling card. I mean, their name is Robinhood, for crying out loud. And then for you to pull this stunt, it does sting worse when you do it. So one thing we're also going to cover tonight in this fast 30 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, is other brokerage houses you can go with that are comparable to Robinhood that don't charge commissions. And one of them is owned by a minority. And so to go ahead and get into the meat and potatoes of this, go ahead, Larry.
Lamar, before you go over there, so just on this subject, I want to say one thing I think Robinhood might have done unintentionally is lowered the valuation of their company for when they decide to go public. I think what would have maybe have been, I don't know, let's just give a random number. Let's say that the company would have gone public and it would have been worth, $3 billion. I think maybe it's worth $1 now.
Here's the issue, Larry. Check this out. In the last 3 days, are you two guys familiar with the other stock app called Webull? Have y'all heard of that one? Their percentage of people jumping on the app, Larry, is up 29% in 3 days. 3.
Yeah.
And where do you think them people is coming from? But here's the problem. Webull did the same damn thing Robinhood did. They done the same thing. So they didn't even make my list of brokerages you guys can go take a look at. If you limited what people could do any of these days, you ain't make my list. And part of what we're talking about with Robinhood is I'm still telling people I'm going to ride with Robinhood. I'm going to treat this like I've been with a girlfriend or a significant other for 5 years. This is the first time they've hurt my trust really, really badly. And I'm going to ride with them and see if we can get over this. But I'm going to get me a backup girlfriend. I can just tell you that right now. I've got to have me a backup girlfriend because this cannot happen again, and I'm going to stay. It's for all those who joined us because you want to know where you can take your stocks. I said in the beginning of this video, everything that is on the Robinhood Limit list, 50 some odd stocks this week, all that is good stocks for you guys to buy, whether you're buying it for short-term purposes or long-term. It's just that more short-term stocks are on that list. So I'm going to let you guys see this. Then I'm going to pull the list up, and we're going to talk about the ones you should get for what specific purpose.
Well, Robinhood, again, limited the amount of shares that customers can buy for certain stocks. We've got a couple new names to add to that list. Beyond Meat, Starbucks, GM. So not the names that we've been talking about. You think of GameStop, for example. There are now 50 names in total on that list. I just spoke to Robinhood. It's not entirely clear why they're adding names like Starbucks. They did say that this has to do with market volatility. They're monitoring stocks by the name. They're looking at each stock and seeing if it fits a certain criteria. We don't have a lot of detail on exactly what that is. They say, though, it is a fluid situation, and they are updating their blog post. But again, the list of restricted stocks now includes 50 names. Back to you, Wilf. Wilf, Robinhood again.
That is pure, but man, Nate, I'm trying to be nice since you're here. I'm trying not to use words. Try not to use words that would make people think that I'm full of anger. I'm full of rage, and I might turn green like the Hulk. But this is a pure travesty of capitalism because every facet we go, the big guys who are rich always tell people, well, you got to take risks to make money. Whenever you invest, there's always inherent risk. What we're seeing right now is the kinks, the foibles in capitalism. We are actually seeing in real time, and it started a little while ago, 4 years ago, all the crux that go on in capitalism that help the rich stay rich. There's a reason why we're having a K-shaped recovery. So let me show you guys these stocks on this list, and we're going to break them down, which ones you should get your hands on. So number one, let's start with this list. And before I say that, let me get back to Robinhood. Two wealthy Silicon Valley investors got on CNBC and said they completely support what is happening with Wall Street bets pumping up these stocks because the rich hedge funds been doing it for years in their little secret dinners and been getting away with it. Robinhood, fellas, has the audacity to put two companies on this list that is owned by Chapma Papatia, who is one who's been cheering on this movement. He's been cheering it on, and they've got both of his acquisitions on the list. Oh my God, I can't make this up. So let's go through this. American Airlines, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna just break them down as we go through them. American Airlines, if you're gonna get that, just know that is not a long-term hold. That is you hold it and you hope they're gonna pump it up. Aurora Cannabis, I would say that one is one you hold long-term and it might get pumped up short-term as well. First Majestic Silver, that one is both short-term and long-term because remember, precious metals, ladies and gentlemen, is always a hedge against inflation. And that company has pretty decent numbers. AMC, that is strictly a short-term buy. You're hoping it gets pumped up. AMD, that is short-term and long-term. And why the hell is AMD up there anyway? I know why. Because Reddit put out a list of other stocks that they plan to attack. But AMD is a great company, ladies and gentlemen, and you can hold them long-term. BlackBerry.
Let me stop you. They're not attacking the stocks. They're really attacking the short sellers.
Right. Excuse me for that. They are attacking the short sellers, not the company, the short sellers. BlackBerry, that one is a short-term hold. Well, maybe I'm going to say short-term to intermediate because they just signed a strategic partnership. So if you get that one, you might have some legs beyond what's going on right now. Bed Bath & Beyond, strictly short-term. I think that's Beyond Meat. That one could be long-term. And let me get on to the next list. Here we go. The Coverage Health, that one is speculation, so it's short-term. Curis, speculation, short-term. Castor Maritime, speculation, short-term. Express, speculation, short-term. Ezigo Technologies, speculation, short-term. Now, folks, there's a pattern to this. The ones that have potential, in some cases, to be short-term and long-term holds, look at what Robinhood is doing. They're only allowing you to have one share. General Motors is definitely long-term and short-term. You can only get one share. GameStop Corporation, I'm definitely going to say is short-term, but they're only giving you one share because the price is already pumped up too high. I've never heard of this Grand Terra Energy, so I don't know how to put that one for your investor purposes, but they're giving you 5 shares. HIMS, that's the big one you see on commercials. I think that one has long-term viability as well as short-term, 1 share. NVO Pharmaceuticals, 1 share. And the one that Chapma Papatia owns is that Social Capital. I own 100 shares of that, and they're limiting you to 1 damn share. What in the hell? And then his other one, he has 2. He has IPOE and IPOF, Social Capital. They're limiting you to 1 share. Jaguar Health, 5. Cost Corporation, ladies and gentlemen, that's a short-term grab. I've never heard of Linnell, whatever that is. Moderna. Moderna is a great company to hold long-term. They pay a solid dividend. So this could be a short-term and a long-term. Naked Brand Foods, don't know much about them. So I would say speculation on that one. Nokia, I actually have a call on Nokia. That one is definitely short-term. Let's hope they pump that one up. Novarix, I don't know much about that one, but it's giving you 1 share, so I would say short-term. Open Door Technology, ladies and gentlemen, is another one backed by Chapma Papatia. A long-term company for sure. They're doing things in real estate that are futuristic, so you want to get that one long-term and hold it. Rocket Companies, that one does mortgages. That is a good long-term hold with hopefully a short-term benefit. And the last of the list, ladies and gentlemen, Rolls-Royce. Well, y'all know every rapper and they mamas be talking about Rolls Royces, so you definitely can get that one for long term and short term.
But you know what I'm saying? It's about Rolls Royces. They make jet engines.
Yes, definitely. So you can definitely get that one for both purposes. Starbucks, ladies and gentlemen, the reason this is on the list is because this is a great long-term and short-term company, and they also was going down this past week. So you can do both with that one. I don't know anything about Shoals and Siebert financials, so that one's kind of speculation, but at the very least, short-term grab. Now, Larry and my man Nate, iShares Silver Trust. I did an emergency video because Reddit specifically named that they're not only are they buying this ETF, but they're also buying up silver from the companies underneath this ETF. And there was a report put out this weekend that one of those companies under that ETF is sold out of physical silver. So, ladies and gentlemen, I just told you before, precious metals are always a good long-term buy because they're a hedge against inflation. So you definitely want to get that one. And we're going to talk about, since you can't get a lot from Robinhood, other companies you can open up an account and get some this week. Then we've got Sundell Growers, don't know anything. Then we've got the Diriox Daily Semiconductor Bulls. That one is a good company, long-term hold. They do the same thing AMD does. Sorrento Therapeutics, short-term cash grab. Star Peak Energy, ladies and gentlemen, a SPAC. Typically, I don't put a lot of money in SPACs, but with these SPACs have been hitting the market, Larry, what have they been doing? Going to the moon.
Yeah.
So you might want to get that one and hold on to it. Then you got Tesnesco. I don't know them well. T and something Holdings. That's another SPAC. And then finally, Tootsie Roll, short-term grab, ladies and gentlemen. Trivago, short-term grab, and that's only because everything is still closed because of the coronavirus. But when they open back up, that one's when you can hold. Workhorse. How much money have we made off Workhorse, Larry? I even told Nate about Workhorse when I first met him at the Tesla Supercharger.
I don't understand why they have Workhorse on there.
Because Workhorse is in the Reddit transcript. Like everything that you have seen, ladies and gentlemen, is in the Reddit transcripts. And then you've got Qualtrics International and Zoomatica Corp. All these stocks have been targeted by people in Wall Street bets, Larry. That's why they're on the list. And
Workhorse has a chance to blow up by itself, though. I mean, especially since Joe Biden is saying he's going to take the entire federal vehicle fleet electric, and then in the next whatever decade or something. I mean, Workhorse is already working on contracts with the post office. If they can secure some contracts with different agencies, I don't know if they're going to try and secure a contract with. I imagine they're not going to secure the entire federal government with one company, but maybe they get a contract with the State Department, or maybe they get a contract with the FBI or whoever else. I mean, the stock seems like it's poised to move without any sort of help.
Yeah, it's going to move regardless. That's why I said some of these, ladies and gentlemen, are some that you buy and hold long term, or for those of you trying to get in and get out with a quick cash grab, I highlighted those for you as well. But there's one more issue we've got to cover. That's your game plan. You pick up those, and then the famous words that investors always say, ladies and gentlemen, is you buy the dip. And everything dipped last week. Every quality stock took a dip last week. So I don't care if you like
on that list.
What was that?
I was asking Nate, does he have anything on that list?
Right.
Yeah, the silver. SLV.
He's got SLV. Okay. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, the other piece of advice we're saying is buy the dip. So if you've got some growth companies that you already like, everything was red the last 3 days of the week. Your Tesla was red. And I can tell you that is going to go back up because it didn't make this list, but Wall Street Bets loves them some Tesla and Elon Musk. So that's a side note. If you guys can afford to get your hands on some Tesla while it's not on the list, because for all we know, we might wake up Wednesday and Tesla's on the list. Get you some Tesla, get some Amazon, get some Walmart, get all these growth stocks because they're all in the red. You buy when things are low, sell when they go high. But in order to do that,
that might be a good buying opportunity if they put it on the list. Because the way they're doing it now, where you can only buy one share at a time, but they're allowing you to sell. Right. That's great because then it suppresses the price.
Well, it does, but at the same time, it's upsetting because when you have one of the bigger brokerages that has 35 million customers, and you know that only so many stocks are going to come from there, it does exactly what you said, Larry. It stifles the price in the overall marketplace, which we don't want that. That's the problem we're having with Robinhood. And that's how it's helping these hedge funds catch back up, get back in the fold, and keep doing what they've been doing. But ladies and gentlemen, the other part of this puzzle is where do you go if you're frustrated with Robinhood? So I've handpicked 3 companies, one of them owned by a minority, that you can go to that seem to have a good interface. There's no commission fees, anything like that. And I've asked a couple of people who have these apps, how was the trading and what went through? So first one on this list, me and Larry was in the chat room talking to someone about this. So Fidelity, ladies and gentlemen. From everything I've read about Fidelity, they let you do after hours trading for free. They did not submit to the bull jive of limiting stocks anytime. Now they might change tunes this week, but all of last week they stayed in the game. That's their fee structure. They don't charge anything except for option contracts. Now, I'm not really feeling that, but at the same time, I wouldn't mind paying 65 cents just to open the option contract if Robinhood would have let me get my damn put on GameStop, because I would have made 15 grand Thursday. So that's not a bad trade-off. Next on the list, our man E-Man's got this one. This is E-Trade, ladies and gentlemen. They doing the same thing. They charge you 65 cents for options, and most of you guys aren't to the point where you're doing futures and bonds. You're just doing stocks and ETFs, and if you look at that, there's no fee on that. And from everything I've seen, people seem to like their interface. Last but definitely not least, we've got one called Doe. This one is owned by a brother down in Atlanta, and it looks like this. Everything is free on this app, everything. But the problem with this app, ladies and gentlemen, the problem that gets me with this app is that it does not have a computer interface. And that's a problem for me. But if you are a new investor and you just want to reach out your phone, you can do it right here on this app. And the guy that owns it is the brother if you're looking at the screen, he's on the right-hand side. He was actually on CNBC just the other day. And one more bonus one for you guys. It's called Tastyworks. They seem to have a pretty decent fee structure. They're on all your platforms. But this is what I don't like. They're charging you. If you're doing any kind of options, you're getting hit for $1. If you're doing micro options, you're getting hit for $1.50. But your stocks and ETFs, they don't charge you anything for it. And then special note to Cash App. Cash App did not shut down when the cryptos was going on, and they did not shut people down from buying stocks just the other week. So those are some good ones you guys can look at if you need to have a backup to Robinhood, or you just plan to jump ship altogether. If I didn't mention you probably was in on the bull job last week, and you was limiting people's ability to make money under a capitalism, which I was told, Larry, is the greatest system on all the planet. It's great until everybody gets to participate, huh? It's great till we all get to participate, but when only a handful get to participate, it's the greatest system. So, Nate, what's your backup system, or are you looking at getting into a backup system for your trading?
Well, I've been sticking with Robinhood, but I'm open to moving, and usually I just have my play stocks in Robinhood.
Smart. Exactly. Smart. Larry, what you gonna do, my man? You've been telling me for weeks. You're just like, Lamont, you need to have a backup. And so I go get the backup Larry had. I go get TD Ameritrade, and they was in on the scam too. So Larry, what you gonna do?
Yeah, man, I think I might dip out of Robinhood. I this is what I'm thinking, right? Mm-hmm. I like Robinhood because I like the way they have their options chain laid out. It's very, very easy to read and understand.
Right.
But I think what I might do is just simply keep a little bit of money in there so I can have the account open.
Right.
And so I can just utilize their service for that and then just trade with someone else. Because I have TD as my main brokerage, but they screwed us over too.
Yes.
And TD's had some issues in the last couple of months where you can't, when trade activity is really high and you can't access the app, and it's been really wonky. So I don't know. I might dip out. I've been thinking about E-Trade, but I think I might go with Fidelity. It seemed like Fidelity was on the up and up during this whole thing. So
everybody who's had Fidelity, Larry, has told me nothing but good. Everybody.
Yeah,
everybody on Fidelity.
Yeah, I might just open up I think that's the E-Trade one that you have open. Oh no, that is the Fidelity one. Yeah, so I don't know. I might just open up an account with just a small amount of money over there, just to get an idea of what it looks like.
Right.
I really wish they would let you. Just sort of open a paper trade account on these brokerages so that you can see what the actual platform looks like. But I may just throw a small amount in there just so I can open it up. So I do like that Doe though. I like the Doe account where you can, I like supporting nice. Black business and all. So I maybe might grab them.
Okay. So Elaine Perry's asking, what about Webull? Elaine, I've heard people say good things about Webull, but the problem was they restricted being able to buy these stocks last week as well. They just didn't start first. They came in right behind Robinhood and they restricted it, but then they did open it back up quicker than the rest of them did. So basically, Robinhood shut it down first and was the last to open it back up and still restricting. TD, Schwab, Webull, they all kind of followed Robinhood's lead. And then by Friday, when the smoke was clearing a little bit, everybody decided to open and run out in front of cameras and microphones and take pictures and say, we believe in capitalism. We didn't shut our system down. We just restricted yada, 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 when they was just all full of SHIT. They all limited it. And then they all tried to say that the one that they kept telling people was, we just restricted our margin. Now, I told Larry, it would have been perfectly fine if everybody would have restricted the margin so that folks can't literally gamble a credit line away and let people who are dealing with their money keep doing what they want to do. That is perfect. That doesn't restrict capitalism. That is perfect, but nobody done that.
That was garbage to them saying that. I don't trade on margin. I trade with what I have in my account, and they limited everything. It wasn't like they were just limiting for people that were trading on margin. I've used my margin account once.
I've never used mine. I've never used mine, and my Robinhood account took a hit because the stock market pulled back a little bit. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you that I think that the fear that has been stoked to the hedge funds might send us tumbling into a crash. I think what we saw this past week was the beginnings of an earthquake. We saw the little tremors, and now that Reddit has puffed their chest out and said we have enough authority and ability to do this across 50 some odd stocks, I think we're really about to see the hedge funds get upset, start retrieving money, and we're going to see the market crash for a short bit. And when it does crash, ladies and gentlemen, just buy up all the best companies. That's it.
What do you think, Nate? What do you think is going to be some of the fallout from this?
Yeah,
let it happen. I'll jump in. That's definitely a buy opportunity. But yeah, I agree with you. They don't like losing money, and so they're going to try to flex their chest too. And so I don't mind that.
Yep. Because all three of us on this panel, yes, we do believe in getting a quick cash grab, but we also all invest long term because we all young as hell. Nobody on this panel is older than 42. Believe me. And we're all trying to be living and jumping out of airplanes, skiing down the Alps when we're in our 70s. So we do have holdings for long term. And what you're getting ready to see is billionaires upset, and they're going to pull their money only to create a new opportunity for retail investors to buy some of these excellent companies like Amazon, Tesla, Neo, Workhorse for a very, very discounted price. Because at some point in time, ladies and gentlemen, they're going to put their money back in. That's just the way the system works. And fellas, I got one final story for you. There was one very, very wealthy dude who got burnt because he had heavy puts on GameStop. You want to know who he is? Y'all seen the cry face several times. Oh, Michael Jordan got burnt because y'all have heard the term Citadel as one of those middlemen between a lot of these brokerages. Well, check this out. Michael Jordan is bleeding money after finding himself in the middle of the Reddit-fueled GameStop war that has stunned Wall Street. Jordan could not have picked a worse time to welcome hedge fund giants Gabe Platokin and Daniel Sutton as investors in the Hornets. Both men are reported to have taken catastrophic losses, with the ongoing war between hedge fund managers and amateur investors reportedly wiping more than $5 billion from established hedge funds. Jordan's business partner, Platokin, and his Melvin Capital, you guys heard that on CNBC as being a middleman, fund have been aggressively against GameStop by short selling its shares, meaning they stood to gain if the price went down and lost if it went up. Nate, I give it to you first. They said Michael Jordan, right? They said Michael Jordan's net worth went from 1.9 billion to 1.6.
Oh, that hurts.
You know, like Larry, like I could see if his net worth was 24,000 and it went down to 19,000. That's pain. Believe me, people. That's pain and suffering. But to go from 1.6, and I'm a Michael Jordan fan now. I love what he's done after his career in the community. But Larry, are you shedding tears? Are you up here giving cry faces because the man has lost what 0.3 billion?
No, all he needs to do is go buy some Tesla stock and wait 6 months. He'll make all that 300 million back.
Larry, you better hush because Larry, they might consider that insider trading. Because they might consider that insider trading, Larry. We're saying people should go buy Tesla and the stock is going to go up in 6 months.
I mean, come on, man. I mean, I get it. To everybody else, losing probably to him too, losing $300 million seems like a lot of money. But when you lose $300 million and your net worth is still over $1.5 billion, I mean, you're not going to find probably anybody outside of that 1% of the 1% that are going to feel bad for him, because I'm thinking, come on, man, give me 1% of your losses and I'd be set for the rest of my life.
Right.
You know?
Exactly. And Larry, like I said, I'm gonna stick with Robinhood. I'm gonna chalk this up as a growing pain for Robinhood, but I'm still mortally wounded by them because, like I said, I stood to have gained at the very least on Thursday when the stock dropped. I would have been up $12,000 to $15,000. And I'm still hurt by them, but I'm going to hang in there because I have dreams that I'll be standing beside these guys when they finally fix everything, get it together, and we'll be ringing that bell for their IPO together. I'll be there representing y'all, my homies, because we done got this thing fixed when they go IPO, but it's not going to happen this year.
No, I think if it was going to happen this year, they're going to have to push it back now because they need to get the stink off of them.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. There is no way in hell. Hell could freeze over. That IPO cannot happen this year. Unless, Larry, now I can tell you how I can fix, but we know this is not going to happen. Everyone who tried to make an order on those days, if Robinhood would give them the equivalent of the money that they lost by not getting into the stock that day, or who tried to do options that day, and they've got a record of this, if they would compensate those people, that would begin to help get this stink off of them. But if they've got liquidity issues, they ain't doing that. They're not going to do that.
Yeah. No, I think Robinhood, what they'll probably end up doing because of this, if they go public, when they go public, is they'll probably switch over and say, we're no longer going to do a direct listing. We're going to go the old school route, because now they can turn around to the rest of the Wall Street and say, look, we're one of you. We were protecting all of you. We had to shut our own users off to protect you big hedge funds. We're one of you. And then they'll say, yeah, okay, we can get on with you guys now. And they'll go ahead and they'll fund their IPO, and they'll get the share price at $20 or something. And then when it finally goes live, it'll be up at 45 or 50. And the little guys will get screwed just like they did here. I mean, I feel like Robinhood was being presented as like this brokerage for the little guy, for the average everyday retail investor. And the fact of the matter is they're no different from any other big Wall Street brokerage house.
Right. I've got a question in the super chat. And ladies and gentlemen, whenever you super chat this channel, we give you a funny video. But before I give this person the funny video, I'm gonna answer his question. He wants to know, where do I go buy dog coin? Well, first of all, I'm gonna tell you to stay away from dog coin. Did you see the pullback that happened to it? I mean, they pulled that joint back. It was up 300% Friday, and by this weekend, it had gone back down like almost 290. But if you must have it, Cash Apps is doing cryptos, and I think they had dog coin. If you want to go that route, and Coinbase, ladies and gentlemen, is getting ready to go IPO. I forgot to mention that. Larry sent me the link that they're going IPO. And for you, AMK, try the Cash App first. And then if that doesn't work, hit me on the gram. So I've got a pretty timely video for you, because we like to show our subscribers support. And this one has Michael Jordan written all over it, and is one of my favorite theme songs from the 90s.
Is the NBA on.
See how your boy got your back? This is Life Games on the Lamont Tyson channel. I appreciate you for that super chat, my friend. And we're going to get out of here, ladies and gentlemen. That is your stock market game plan for Monday. To summarize everything we did: buy the dip on your favorite companies, go back through this video, check out the 50 stocks I showed you. They're all great buying opportunities right now, because it looks like the Reddit boys are going to try to pump up a handful of those. Go back and watch the video for the ones I mentioned are good for short-term and long-term, and decide which one of these strategies you're going to take to invest. And also check out a backup to Robinhood, so that you can keep investing without having to worry about if someone is going to limit or stifle your ability to participate in free market capitalism, or at least free for some of us, as they say. So,
you know what? I still don't understand this with Robinhood. Is like, why they're limiting people to buying one share or one contract option, if one option contract, if you have the money in your account.
Because Larry, they don't have the money in their account.
Well, that's what they should say. They should simply say you can only buy if you actually have the funds to make the purchase. You can only buy one share or one options contract on margin or something, but I mean, if you have the money in your account, you should be able to buy as much as you want.
Well, it's not us, it's them. They don't have the liquidity to follow up if someone decides to come in there and buy 50 shares of said stocks, and those stocks all of a sudden just go up 20% within the week. They can't cover that, Larry. That's why they're limiting these stocks, because Reddit has marked these stocks that we just showed in this video as potentials to blow up, and they're trying to cover their asses. And I'm frustrated with them. I have over a $200,000 account with Robinhood. I've been in their good graces, and I need to talk to somebody. I really do, because I'm having trauma. And if you don't want me to start threatening that I had mental trauma, somebody from Robinhood need to call my ass and tell me what they're going to do to make me feel better. Simple as that. So, fellas, I want to get one stock pick from each one of you guys, and then we'll get out of here. Thank you, everybody that tuned in to us as we give you your Monday morning quarterback stock game plan. Nate, give everybody one stock that you really believe in.
Well, I believe long-term always in Microsoft. It's done very well for me. Apple has too, but Microsoft. And because I see it every day. I see how much money I'm sending them, so I see what they're making.
And ladies and gentlemen, I bought a long call on Microsoft, and it's up. I'm up like $1,000 or something like that. I bought a long call on Microsoft 2 weeks ago before the earnings report. Larry, give everybody one good long stock that you believe in.
One good long stock, huh?
Yeah, and Larry, do not say Levi jeans. Do not say Levi jeans. Do not get up.
I like Levi's, man. I like Levi's Strauss.
Oh God,
I like them. I think that the more that this pandemic goes on, and the more the culture changes from people having to go into the office to staying at home and working, I think Levi's going to continue to grow. Levi's is a time-tested, age-old brand. Everybody knows. Here's the thing. When this is when they always talk about, this is when you know that a brand is successful, is when it becomes a verb. When you want to get a ride share, nobody says you're going to get a Lyft or you're going to get a easy car or easy go. They say, are you going to Uber it? When you want to go get a soda, they say, do you have a Coke? No, we have Pepsi. Same thing. I just meant you have a soda, you know? And when people are talking about jeans, they talk about Levi's.
What?
You know? That's just the way it is.
I think Levi might be a verb. Let's see here in Utah, maybe.
Yeah. In Utah, yeah. If you live in Utah, you get you some Levi's. So is that your pick, Larry? You going with Levi?
I'm going with Levi's, man. I like Levi's long. I like Levi's short, and I like them long.
Okay. Well, y'all already know what brought me to the dance. I'm riding with them. Tesla, ladies and gentlemen. They dropped down under $100. If you could afford to buy a call that lasts at least 3 months, I would buy that call tomorrow immediately, because not only are they favored, they're favored by hedge funds, they're favored by Reddit. You just can't go wrong with them. They're short term and they're long term. If you can afford it, get yourself some Tesla. So we're out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to like the video, comment, subscribe. Go check out the Black Investor Stock Group on Facebook. Link is in the description. Check me and Larry both out on Instagram. Check out our YouTube channels. Thank you to our subscriber, Nate, my homie, my Tesla buddy. We're going to give him a clap for coming on board. And if you want to join me and Larry, one Sunday night to talk about the game plan for the week, hit us up and we'll see if we can get you up here. There is no show next week because I will be from a remote location reporting on the Super Bowl. So y'all want to stay tuned for that live. You never know who I might pull up there with me. Until that next Sexy as Hell video, which will be tomorrow when we cover Marvel and WandaVision, we'll see you.
Peace.
Peace.